Imagine a bustling settlement of over 100 people. There were homes, families, children, and dreams. And then, in the blink of an eye, everyone vanished. No signs of a struggle, no blood, no bodies, no warning. Just a single chilling word carved into a wooden post: Croatoan. For over 400 years, historians, detectives, and theorists have been haunted by the exact same questions. Where did an entire colony go? What actually happened to them? And what on earth did Croatoan mean? This is the story of America's oldest, most chilling unsolved cold case, the Lost Colony of Roanoke. So, grab a seat and let's dive into the mystery together.
The beginning of Roanoke Colony. During the late 16th century, European powers were racing to expand their influence across the world. England wanted new land, new resources, and permanent settlements in North America. With that goal, an English expedition sailed across the Atlantic. Their destination? Roanoke Island. Located near what is now North Carolina, the island appeared to be the perfect place to build a new future. It offered access to the ocean, natural resources, and the opportunity to establish England's first permanent colony in the New World. Everything looked promising, but no one could have imagined that this island would soon become one of history's greatest mysteries. In the summer of 1587, a group of English settlers arrived on Roanoke Island. The expedition was led by John White. His mission was simple: build a permanent English settlement. More than 100 colonists came with him: families, craftsmen, workers, and children. One event made this colony especially historic. A baby girl was born there. Her name was Virginia Dare. She became the first recorded English child born in North America. At first, everything seemed hopeful. Homes were being built, people were preparing for a new life. The colony finally had a future. But there was one serious problem. They were completely isolated.
Supplies were running out. Life on Roanoke Island wasn't easy. The settlers faced unfamiliar land, limited food, unknown dangers, and very little support from England. As supplies began running low, John White realized something had to be done. He decided to return to England. His plan was simple: gather more supplies, recruit additional settlers, and return as quickly as possible. No one knew that this decision would change history forever. The unexpected delay. John White safely reached England, but before he could return, a major crisis erupted. England was preparing for war against Spain. Almost every available ship was needed for military service. As a result, John White couldn't sail back to Roanoke. Weeks turned into months. Months turned into years. Meanwhile, the colony remained completely alone. John White never stopped thinking about the settlers. Were they safe? Had they survived? Was his granddaughter, Virginia Dare, growing up on the island? Every passing year, the questions became more painful. Finally, after nearly 3 years, he was given the opportunity to return. In 1590, John White's ship finally reached Roanoke Island. He expected to see smoke rising from chimneys, people working, children playing, a thriving English settlement. Instead, something felt terribly wrong. The island was silent, unnaturally silent. As the rescue party walked through the colony, They found houses, fences, buildings, but not a single person. No survivors, no bodies, no signs of violence, no signs of a desperate struggle. It looked as though everyone had simply vanished. An entire colony, gone without a trace.
Then, they discovered something that would turn this disappearance into one of history's greatest mysteries. Carved into a wooden post was a single word: Croatoan. Nothing else. No explanation, no message, no date. Just one mysterious word. But what did it mean? That question has remained unanswered for more than 4 centuries. The mystery of Croatoan. Croatoan was the name of a nearby island, home to a Native American tribe. Did the settlers move there willingly? Was it a clue left for John White? Or was someone trying to send a final message? Because if Croatoan was simply a destination, what happened after they arrived? That is where the mystery truly begins.
An entire colony, a deserted settlement, one mysterious word, and a question that has survived for more than 400 years. In 1590, when John White finally returned to Roanoke Island, he expected to reunite with the people he had left behind. He imagined a stronger colony, a new beginning, a community that had survived against all odds. But reality was far different. An entire settlement that once held more than 100 people was completely empty. No voices, no footsteps, no signs of life. Only one mysterious word: Croatoan. And that single clue gave birth to one of history's greatest unsolved mysteries. Theory 1. Were they attacked by Native Americans? The first, and perhaps the most frightening theory, was that the colony had been attacked. Life in the New World was incredibly difficult. Tensions between European settlers and some Native American tribes did exist. So many people believed
that Roanoke may have been destroyed during a violent conflict. But there was one major problem with this theory. If such a large attack had taken place, there should have been evidence. Broken weapons, burned buildings, human remains, signs of a desperate battle. Instead, John White found none of those things. The settlement was abandoned, but it wasn't destroyed. And that made this theory much harder to believe. Theory 2. Did they move to Croatoan Island? Now we come to the most widely accepted theory. That mysterious word, Croatoan, may have been more than just a clue. Before John White left England, the settlers had agreed on something. If they were forced to leave the colony, they would carve the name of their new destination. And if they left because of danger, they would carve a cross beside the message. But when John White returned, there was no cross, only the word, Croatoan. Many historians believe this suggests the settlers may have left voluntarily. Could the settlers have realized that Roanoke was no longer a safe place to live? Perhaps food had become scarce? Perhaps survival on the island had become impossible? Perhaps moving somewhere else was their only chance. Croatoan Island was home to friendly Native Americans. Maybe the settlers joined them. Maybe they built a new community together.
Interestingly, some later historical accounts describe Native American communities with signs of European influence. But once again, there is no definitive proof. Theory 3. Did they lose their identity? Another possibility is that the settlers slowly blended into nearby Native American communities. Imagine their situation. No supplies, no contact with England, no hope of immediate rescue. Survival would have become their highest priority. Perhaps they learned new languages, adopted new traditions, started new families, and over generations, their English identity simply disappeared. If that happened, the lost colony never truly vanished. It simply became part of another culture. But one of the most heartbreaking parts of this mystery is the story of Virginia Dare. She was the first recorded English child born in North America. When John White returned, his granddaughter was gone. Imagine waiting 3 long years only to discover that your own family had disappeared without a trace. For John White, this wasn't just a historical mystery. It was deeply personal. Could disease have destroyed the colony? Some historians suggest another explanation: disease or starvation. The settlers were living in an unfamiliar environment. Food supplies were limited. Medical knowledge was almost non-existent. If illness spread through the colony or crops failed, survival would have become nearly impossible. But even then, the same question remains. Where is the evidence? The harsh environment. Roanoke Island itself was far from an easy place to live. Powerful storms, flooding, changing weather, and harsh conditions could have forced the settlers to leave. Perhaps abandoning the colony was simply their only option. But once again, where did they go? That question still has no clear answer. John White's final hope. John White wanted to investigate Croatoan Island. He believed that if the settlers had survived, that's where they would be. But fate had other plans. Bad weather made the journey too dangerous. The expedition was canceled. And John White never had another chance. His final opportunity to solve the mystery was lost forever. Years passed, then decades, then centuries. Researchers searched for clues. New theories emerged. Historians debated. Archaeologists investigated. Yet no explanation has ever been proven beyond doubt. Because some mysteries leave behind clues, but never enough answers. The biggest question: if the settlers were killed, where is the evidence? If they reached Croatoan, why were no clear records left behind? If they joined another community, why did they disappear from history? One small island, one missing colony, and one mystery that continues to puzzle the world more than 400 years later. More than 400 years have passed, yet the mystery of Roanoke remains unsolved. A small island, an abandoned settlement, one mysterious word, and a question that has echoed through history. What really happened to more than 100 people? Did they build a new life somewhere else? Did they fall victim to disaster? Or did something happen that history simply failed to record? Today, we explore the most convincing theories and the truth that may completely change the way we look at the Lost Colony of Roanoke. The Lost Colony, history or legend? One reason the Roanoke mystery has survived for centuries is because it sits somewhere between history and legend. We know the colony existed. We know people lived there. We know John White returned. And we know the settlement was completely empty. But what happened after that? No one truly knows. And whenever history leaves behind unanswered questions, people naturally begin filling those gaps with theories. Did they join Native American communities? Many historians believe the settlers may have joined nearby Native American tribes. At that time, survival was more important than identity. If food was running out, if the colony could no longer support itself, joining another community may have been their only realistic choice. Perhaps they learned new languages, adopted new customs, built new families, and over time, their English identity slowly disappeared. Instead of vanishing, they simply became part of another culture. But where is the evidence? This is where the mystery becomes even more frustrating. If the settlers joined another community, why isn't there stronger proof? Researchers have found stories, oral traditions, and a few clues suggesting contact between Europeans and Native Americans, but no discovery has ever confirmed exactly what happened. And that uncertainty keeps the mystery alive.
The word Croatoan remains the greatest clue in the entire case. Some historians believe it wasn't simply the name of an island. It may have been a carefully planned message. Before leaving for England, John White and the settlers agreed that if they ever relocated, they would leave the name of their new destination behind. If they had been forced to leave because of danger, they would carve a cross beside the message. But when John White returned, there was no cross, only one word: Croatoan. That small detail has become one of the strongest arguments that the settlers left voluntarily. So, could they have been lost at sea? Another possibility is that some or all of the settlers attempted to leave by boat. Navigation during the late 1500s was incredibly difficult. The Atlantic Ocean was unpredictable. Powerful storms, strong currents, and poor navigation could easily turn a short journey into a disaster. But once again, the same problem remains. No confirmed wreckage, no survivors, no clear evidence. The search continues. Even today, archaeologists continue searching for answers. Excavations around Roanoke Island have uncovered tools, artifacts, fragments of everyday life. Some discoveries suggest the settlers may have moved inland. Others point toward contact with Native American communities. But none of these findings provide a complete answer. Because solving the Roanoke mystery isn't just about finding objects. It's about discovering what happened to an entire community. Why does this mystery still fascinate the world? Perhaps because this isn't just a story about people disappearing. It's a story about hope. A group of families crossed an ocean, dreaming of a better future. They built homes, started new lives, welcomed new children into the world. And then they vanished from history. That unanswered ending is what keeps people coming back to this mystery generation after generation. Could we ever solve it? Maybe. Modern archaeology continues to improve,
New technology allows researchers to examine places that were impossible to study before. Ground-penetrating radar, DNA analysis, advanced mapping. Every new discovery brings us one step closer. Perhaps one day, a forgotten document, a hidden settlement, or a single artifact will finally reveal the truth. But until then, the Lost Colony of Roanoke remains one of history's greatest unsolved mysteries. Perhaps the settlers were never truly lost. Perhaps they simply chose survival over identity. Perhaps they became part of another culture, and history forgot their names.
Or perhaps the complete truth disappeared with them forever. But one thing is certain: the Lost Colony of Roanoke reminds us that some mysteries don't survive because they're supernatural. They survive because the evidence is incomplete. And sometimes, the greatest mystery isn't the one with the most frightening answer. It's the one that leaves us searching, century after century. This was Unknown Depths, where we uncover the world's greatest mysteries, lost civilizations, forgotten histories, and the secrets that time refuses to reveal. Because every unanswered mystery takes us one step deeper into the unknown.